People are starting to get a little testy with one another. I can sense it. I'm really good at kind of tapping into the mood of the country. Even the New York governor himself, Andrew Cuomo, yesterday said, we got to start a plan. We got a plan to pivot back to some kind of economic functionality because the whole country feels like it's sort of shut down. Incidentally, there's so much good news about companies that are hiring: Walmart, Walgreens, CVS. I mean, the companies that are allowed to stay open, boy, they are thriving. You go ahead and try to find a roll of toilet paper. Find a can of Lysol. I dare you, double dog dare you to find a bottle of Purell. They're desperately trying to restock the shelves. Of course, people worried, anxious Americans show up at all the stores at the crack of dawn in some cases and clear them out. Stores are trying to limit it, but good luck with that. Family members are showing up pretending not to be with each other. There have been fights, fist fights that break out over rolls of toilet paper and paper towels. It's pretty bad right now. But people are sort of hunkered down and understanding this cannot last forever. Here's Governor Cuomo yesterday. This is from Fox News in Grabian.
Again, to keep this all in perspective, Johns Hopkins has studied every case from the beginning, 349,000 cases. Death toll worldwide is 15,000, right? Many will get infected, but few will actually pass away from this disease. Also, this is all evolving, and this is all evolutionary, and we are still figuring it out. There has to be a balance or parallel tracks that we're going down. We're talking about public health, we're talking about isolation, we're talking about protecting lives. There also has to be a parallel track that talks about economic viability. I take total responsibility for shutting off the economy in terms of essential workers. But we also have to start to plan the pivot back to economic functionality, right? You can't stop the economy forever.
Well, he's right. And this is this balance that we're going to have to start contending with. There's all kinds of other breaking news I want to share with you. The Japanese Prime Minister announced that they will be delaying the Tokyo Olympics by about 1 year. That'll impact a lot of lives, a lot of young people around the world who have been training, living for this moment, of course. Not going to happen. And this is happening across the world. I think often of my friends in the theater community. Broadway shut down, national tours, that nobody's performing, no movie theaters. Everything has come grinding to a halt. And I believe Governor Cuomo is correct when he says that we're going to have to be thinking about a path to restoring our economy. The cure can't be worse than the disease. And it is a balancing act, and I get it. I don't want to say anything on this show. I feel a very important sense of responsibility to give you accurate, concise information. I saw somebody on TV last night, facts without fear. We're nervous, we're anxious, we're starting to get testy, people are cooped up. I'm hearing stories. We can't even get haircuts. Everybody's hair is growing out, and people are going to start having to cut their own hair. But people are contracting this. Chances are you know somebody who knows somebody, or maybe people in your family. Maybe you have contracted the virus. That's the other thing, is we're going to cross that line from sort of a stigma. It was, oh my goodness, look at that. This district attorney tested positive. Look at that. Rand Paul tested. A lot of people we know and love are going to get this virus. Thankfully, most people don't die or even get terribly sick from it. And our death count, well, we've sadly over around the world lost 830 people in the last 24 hours. Here in the United States, 14. Yesterday, in a 24-hour period, it was, I believe, 100. Again, it's early, so I don't want to give you a false sense of hope that we're starting to get ahead of the curve. We don't know yet. The social distancing makes sense, but I want to share a personal story with you. Somebody in New York City who last week I shared with you tested positive, wound up in the hospital with double pneumonia. I was scared to death. It was a dear friend of a very close friend of mine. Well, remember how I told you they sent him home the day after he was diagnosed with double pneumonia and, of course, COVID-19? I just found out last night that, do you know what they gave him in the New York City hospital the other day? That he believes, of course, was responsible for his dramatic turnaround? Here we go. Hydroxychloroquine and a Z-Pack. We're hearing this over and over and over again. And I understand the experts and the CDC and Dr. Fauci, they're a little bit cynical. They're wary. They want years-long clinical tests and trials, which is typically what the FDA does. We don't have time for that. And when I hear just a matter of factly, just last night, because one of his coworkers is also battling terrible pneumonia in the hospital. And this person who was treated said, hang in there, because let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to give you the anti-malaria drug and a Z-Pack, and you won't believe what the difference is going to make. The president yesterday talking about hydroxychloroquine. And this could be absolutely a game changer. I don't know that it will. I don't know that it won't. But let's listen together to what the president said about hydroxychloroquine in New York City and this Z-Pack cocktail, Cut 12, from Fox News and Grabian.
Pleased to report that clinical trials in New York will begin existing for existing drugs that may prove effective against the virus. At my direction, the federal government is working to help obtain large quantities of chloroquine. And
okay,
you can
we're in a major delay.
Look from any standpoint to
Eric. Okay, sorry about that. What happened? The clip went down? What happened, guys? Let's get the clip going. All right, we got a couple of gremlins. It's a very important clip, so let's try to get that up and running again, see what's going on with that clip. But essentially, the president said they've already begun in New York. I know that for a fact, because again, somebody I know was given this cocktail, and it was dramatic. Now, on the other hand, as my buddy Tom Sadeka in Chicago sent me a text about, you better be real careful, and how dangerous it can be. According to Reuters, a man in Arizona died, and his wife is in critical condition after they ingested chloroquine phosphate, which is an aquarium cleaning product, similar to the drugs that have been named by the president as potential treatments for coronavirus infection. This is a couple in their 60s. They experienced immediate distress after swallowing the drug. This is an additive used at aquariums to clean fish tanks. Now, again, you can't take fish tank cleaner. Chloroquine, or specifically hydroxychloroquine, there's a difference, is an anti-malaria treatment that's been around for decades, and it has been recognized as having success. And again, I'm telling you right now, I know somebody who, and we've heard the report of the guy in Florida and the study in upstate New York and the study in France. It is promising. It is promising. Don't know that it's the game changer, but it could be. Welcome into the ReliefFactor.com studios. Again, welcome back to my kitchen. If you're watching the show on our YouTube channel or MikeOnline.com, welcome into my humble abode. Our number is 800-655-MIKE.